What have you found that it's been like for you to raise a family when you're literally on the opposite ends of the earth than where you grew up? Because that's a real concern for people who meet someone abroad. Like, how do we handle this with our families? What has that been like for you?
It's really hard. It's really hard. We're very lucky, similarly to you, that we're really close to Mikey's family. So his parents actually lived in the North Island. And when our daughter was 10 months old, they retired early and moved down to Nelson to be
Wow.
grandparents. So we're incredibly lucky. They picked her up this morning so that I could do this podcast recording with you. And she gets to go to grandma and granddad's and she has sleepovers with them. So she has a very, very close relationship with his parents, which we're really, really grateful for. My parents are separated. They've been separated for years. My mum is a crazy traveller. So she actually lives in Australia, but she came over, she's a midwife. So she came over when Hunter, our daughter, was born and then was here for the first 2 years of her life. So she got to spend a lot of time with her, and all my family met Hunter when she was 2. And then we've not been back. And it's so incredibly difficult and heartbreaking. And we just make sure that we video call. And I just think how hard it would be to raise children away from their family 10, 15 years ago. Whereas now, I can just press a button on my phone and I can just talk to my sister and I can talk to my nephew, and he recognizes us and he says hi, and Hunter chats, she'll ask to talk to people, and it does make the world feel a lot smaller and it makes it feel a lot easier. So even though we're not together physically, you can still form those connections and you can still form those bonds. For me, it's worth the sacrifice because the childhood that I'm able to give my kids in New Zealand is so cool. You know, my hometown, like I said, is the furthest spot from the ocean of anywhere in England. Whereas now we can drive 10 minutes in either direction and be at 2 different amazing beaches. So the opportunities in the kind of life and the kind of childhood that you can have, for me, are such a huge benefit. When I talk to Mikey about I had a great childhood, but when I talk to him about what his childhood was like, it's so drastically different to what most kids in the UK will experience that for me, it's kind of worth that sacrifice. Although Hunter did tell me the other day, Mummy, when I grow up, I want to live in a big city. So we have fully prepared ourselves that our kids who will have British passports are probably going to end up going and living in the UK. Or going on some crazy travel adventures. So she wants to learn to sail like...
They're your
exactly.
kids. So what do you expect?
Exactly. Like my mum is a sailor, and when she retires in a couple of years, her and her boyfriend are going to have a boat and go and sail. And Hunter is already saying, I'm going to go and learn to sail like Moana with Nana. And I'm like, yep, she's going to be off in Indonesia on a boat by the time she's about 13 years old, I reckon.
Right. 100%. That's amazing.
I couldn't be happier.